Well, Jeff Shore back with you one more time as we continue to look at motivation, answering the question, why do I do what I do? That sense of motivation that is really at the core of why we get out of bed in the morning. That part of our motivation that charges us up and gives us a true north in our life. And we've talked through this series about the impact that we make on someone's life as a motivation. The idea just to change people's world. Such a profound motivation. And then when we talked about our impact on society through job creation, because real estate is a job creating beast, and every time a home sells there are jobs that are created out there. We talked about reward. We talked about how we make sure that, and it's okay to look at that, to be able to say, when I accomplish this, then this is the reward. This is what I get for this. This is how it improves my life. And we also talked about achievement drive, just about the need to win, that internal, intrinsic sense that I need to be successful. It's one of the hallmarks of top professionals. Let's talk about one other thing here, on our ability to make a contribution. Now, part of that contribution comes down to how we change people's lives, which we talked about earlier on. But there's a deeper sense here in the contribution you make when you sell a home. You see, for one thing, there's a whole lot of people in your organization who are not employed unless you sell homes. Their families do not get that income unless you sell homes. Your contribution is the job that you create and sustain for the people in your office. So I'll remember when I was running a home building division, and the purchasing director came to me, and you could just tell he was beaten up trying to shave 5 cents a square foot off of the direct cost of the house, the construction cost of the house, by really trying to get our framing bid down. And he had worked and worked and worked and worked, and I recognized, even as he was talking to me, that one salesperson could give away that entire amount just like that with a poor negotiation. They could undo everything that he has worked for with a poor negotiation. And I'm recognizing here that there are people in the office who are out there doing their job every single day and hoping that the home is going to sell, knowing that if the home sales don't continue, that there are cuts, and it might be them. So your contribution to your own company goes beyond the bottom line. It is providing jobs for the families of the employees. Not to mention the fact that contribution that you have to be able to make to society at large. In the United States today, I don't really love this statistic, but people give on average between 3 and 5% of their income to charitable organizations. But I think it should be higher, to tell you the truth, but be that as it may, I'm going to make a suggestion here to you. The higher your income, the more money you give. If you're staying with a consistent percentage, that when you give a higher income, it frees you up to be able to help people. Now, maybe that's through a charitable organization, maybe through your church, but maybe it's just a family member or a friend or even a coworker who's just having some hard times and has gone through a difficult time of your life. And isn't it great to be able to stand up and say, look, you know what, I know you're struggling, here's $1,000. And it's not a loan, it's a gift. And down the road, pay it back to somebody else who needs it if you can, but just don't worry about it. It's one of the great thrills, or better yet, just put it into an envelope and give it to them anonymously so they have even no idea where it came from. But what a great feeling to be able to bless somebody else because you yourself have been blessed. You see, when you sell a home, it frees you up for such choices. It allows you to be in a position to make contributions, to sustain jobs around you, to create new jobs around you, to change the lives of people, to be able to help them financially along the way. I got to tell you, throughout this series, it's been firing me up. It's been charging me up to recognize how powerful it is every time we sell a home. And it also puts some pressure on you, or at least it should, to make sure you're taking every conversation absolutely as far as it will go. Making sure that that customer is all the way over that threshold, that you're taking it as far as you can go, because so much is riding on this and so many people are depending on you. I hope you've enjoyed this series on motivation. Ask yourself the question, why do I do what I do? It's one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself. And when you do what you do as well as you can do it, you know what you get to do next. You get to change someone's world.